Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Ge.Holla. It's not Gula, it's not Ge.Holla, not GeHolla, but Ge.Holla. You'll find this interview on GeHolla.com under My Celebrity Life. And what we're talking about this afternoon is something rather unique and super dope and super special. It is the Black Music Honors. You know what I'm saying? We got to represent and show some love to our culture and all our award shows and all of our artists and our talent that's out there in the world, globally, locally. This is all of it, man. This show everybody love. How about that? Because we got to make sure we got to keep this Black music going and keep honoring all of our dope, talented peoples that's out there, whether you singing, you rapping, you dancing, you painting, whatever that you do. You know, this is Black Music Honors.
Is the legendary African-American artist who've influenced and made significant musical contributions to African-American culture and to American music worldwide. It is produced by Chicago-based production company, Central City Productions, and hosted by Ricky Smiley. And today we have the honor and privilege of talking to three incredible women who are going to be honored that evening. They are yet another music dynasty born in the Bay, straight out of Oakland, continuing a proud musical tradition. Their resume really speaks for itself. They've sold more than 30 million records worldwide. They're considered one of the best and most successful female vocal groups of all time, with 7 MTV Music Awards, 3 Soul Train Awards, 2 American Music Awards. They are also 7-time Grammy nominees. They have stood the test of time, 30 years, still going strong and looking better than ever. Don't know how they do it. Congratulations to En Vogue, recipients of the Black Music Honors 2020 Urban Music Icon Award. We're going to talk today to Terry Ellis, Cindy Herron, and Rona Bennett. Ladies, it is lovely to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, so let's get started. First of all, how does it feel to be honored for Black Music Honors Urban Music Icon Award? We'll start with you, Terry.
It feels absolutely incredible. It's a realization of the amount of time and work that's still so surreal to us, you know, having the longevity that we've had, 30 years in the music industry is pretty incredible. And I don't think it's really sunk in yet for us because we're still evolving and we're still enjoying what we're doing and creating music and performing. And so I don't think it's really hit us yet, but it is truly, truly an honor and we're so grateful.
How about you, Cindy?
Absolutely. Very honored, very humbled. I feel like there are so many other deserving and very talented artists that could have been chosen to be honored. And so it's very humbling to know that we have been chosen to be honored this year.
Rona, what about you? How does it feel to be getting yet another award?
I'm just grateful and honored to be able to carry the torch for the En Vogue brand. It has been my privilege to work alongside Terry and Cindy for so long and to be in position to watch this brand continue to thrive the way that it has. So super, super grateful. Thank you.
In April of this year, we marked the 30th anniversary of Born to Sing, the very first release from En Vogue. How does it make you feel knowing the impact of your music and image is still such an important part of pop culture today?
It makes, you know, we're proud because no one could have ever convinced me 30 years ago that we would have any kind of a longevity in this industry because it tends to be very short-lived. And for us to still have a place, have an audience, have a fan base that continues to support us and follow us, it means everything. And I know that we've been temporarily stopped, I guess, for several months from going out and touring. We had so many plans this year to celebrate our 30th anniversary in terms of just being out on the road and being abroad and being overseas. And you know, all of that came to a halt. But thank God that virtually we still have a presence and we're able to still connect. But it means everything just to still be here and to be recognized.
And you feel the love in this virtual room, don't you?
I do. We do. Look at me. There's so many people here. So we're grateful.
You mentioned the pandemic. How's that been for you all? And especially with the way it has impacted this year with the big anniversary and everything. And you've been on TV, you've been in the movies, you've just been doing everything. But so it's still been a good year?
I was just going to say, all things considered, it has been, to just quote what Rona was about to say, it has really been an amazing year, because things could have, could have been a whole lot different. But for us to still have different opportunities, but opportunities yet and still to work, to be visible, to stay relevant, to create, and to be honored is, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. We're celebrating our 30th this year. And although it's different, it's really special, because like I said, all things considered, it could have gone a whole different way.
So Cindy, thinking about Black music, which has meant so much to everybody that is on this call today, what has Black music done for you, and why is it so important to celebrate it?
Black music for me I think it's been the key inspiration to make me want to be a singer. There was so much great Black music all my life that has been the soundtrack to my life, that's been the soundtrack to historical events that have happened every year, and it's inspired me. It's been the foundation for me to stand on as an artist. It has been the very high bar set for me to reach up and to grab hold to. So it's been everything. And it's really important for us to be able to all come together and celebrate Black music this year, because there's been just, in the grand scheme of things, this has been a negative year on so many levels, not just here in America, but worldwide. And there's so many things that have been dividing people. And so it just allows us to have a moment to turn away from those things, to have something positive to focus on, to celebrate together as a community, to have great entertainment. And it's just a moment to pull us together and just to give us a rest from everything negative that's been going on. And to also just let us all know, considering all the things that has happened this year, for us to be able to still take this moment to honor Black music and just to have this celebration. It's it just, for me, it's just a moment that brings us all together, and it's a proud moment.
One of the really cool things about an event like this, the Black Music Honors, is that it is going to be super entertaining. This may be one of the best shows ever. And I'm curious who you guys are interested in seeing on the Black Music Honors. Why don't we start with you, Terry, and then go to Cindy and then Rona.
Oh my gosh, when I saw the lineup, I was absolutely blown away. So just looking at the lineup, I'm just grateful that we were able to share the same virtual space with all of these incredible artists. But, because we're being honored this year, there's going to be a special tribute to us and our music from a phenomenal female group called June's Diary. And we're really, really excited about that. They're incredibly, incredibly talented. We've had the opportunity to work with them. We mentored them on a TV show called Chasing Destiny. And then we also interviewed them on our the Funky Divas podcast that we launched. And they're just beautiful young ladies and incredibly talented. So really excited to see them. And then also Music Soul Child, Tweet, Raheem Devon, who else?
Marvin's.
I'm excited.
I believe
Ricky Smiley host.
Oh, Ricky Smiley hosting.
Yeah, he's going to be hosting. Who else? Oh, Major. I love Major as well.
Yeah, everybody loves Major. How about you? Well, I guess Cindy and Rona. Yes, Terry named everybody that's there, huh? Anybody in particular? Anybody in particular you're really excited about seeing?
Everyone Terry said. It's just going to be such an exciting, very good quality entertainment packed show. So I'm looking forward to just watching everyone perform, and especially June's Diary.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think, you know, we're honored to be in the same work, if you will, with Deborah Cox and Fred Hammond and the African American Museum of Music. I mean, are you kidding me? We're honored.
Now, you know, to become icons, one of the things that goes along with that is longevity. You certainly have it. To what do you attribute longevity in this business, 30 years and still going strong?
I think, you know, first of all, it's the music. I think the way the music was produced and written, and just the collaboration of all of us with our founding producers, Denzel Foster and Thomas McElroy. I just think it was ultimately, first and foremost, the music, the songs, and the way that the songs became hits. And the other thing is that we love what we do. We love performing and connecting with our fans. And I think that's what allows us to have longevity. I think you got to love what you do and continue to have a passion.
Yeah, I'd like to add also, you know, since we've started this game 30 years ago, we've had the most incredible fan base, supporters. And if it were not for them continuing to ask us to create new music and to perform and, you know, requesting live performances from us, we wouldn't be here. And so we want to say thank you to them for being such diehard supporters. For 30 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, and you all have some crazy fans. They go nuts over you. What is one way that you've remained authentic to who you've been created and called to be, as the music profession continues to change and society does as well? You guys have remained kind of you've picked your lane and stayed in it. How has that happened?
I think probably vision, you know, a willingness to have amazing teamwork, a prayer life. We all live in an attitude of gratitude. We're all willing to embrace change and evolve and continue to be creative and continue to push through moments. So I think all of those things contribute.
You know, music has often been used as a form of celebration, commemoration, and protest too. What are some of your favorite musical moments of protest, particularly during this last year and even prior, because a lot of that music really is timeless?
For me, there were just not just one single time, but I noticed early, especially online, virtually, and through social media, there were several people and artists doing their renditions of various songs from, you know, it could be Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, which is timeless, but I've seen multiple versions of multiple songs by multiple people. Some people I didn't even know who they were, but just brilliant moments of bringing a song, whether they were singing it or whether they, you know, tacked it on as the soundtrack to, you know, multiple images of videos and pictures that were just taken of people out there protesting in different moments. So for me, that's very memorable to me, just seeing all of that going on, because I'd been so disconnected in person, you know, so to still see that going on virtually is really etched in my memory.
Rona?
Are you saying this year's protest or just music over time?
Yeah, just what music means in moments like this. How important is the connection between a movement and the music?
I feel like music makes the world go round, right? It is a barometer for our social climate. So songs like I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown, songs like A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke, all these songs move the spirit, and like Cindy said, I love her words, etched in our memory, etched in our spirit, what it meant. Even talking about it right now, honestly, I feel a chill. Because of how people were feeling. And this was, music is a means for us as artists to deliver a message from our soul and to speak to the public and bring people together into one place. So yeah, probably too many to name. Cindy named some other amazing ones as well.
Sarah, you want to add anything to that?
I agree with both of the girls. They said it all. I would just say, Black music has always played a pivotal role in political activism. I mean, if you go back into our history, when we were in the cotton fields picking cotton, you know, it was a time for us to communicate with each other, to pass the time, to entertain each other. Negro spirituals and hymns were birthed because we were in hopes of better conditions and better times in life. And so our music has always played a very pivotal role in our moods, our cultural mood, our views in life, our civil rights, our struggles, our movements to equality and justice. It's important.
I would love for each of you to tell us something about yourself that fans don't know, but that you would want them to know about you. What would be surprising for you to tell fans, Cindy?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Maybe some surprise talent or interest that you have.
I don't think I have any surprise talent. I no surprises. I don't think. I play like this much of guitar. I dabble in that. Okay, so here's something maybe. Before in Vogue, when I was still, trying to find my way into the music industry, not even the music industry, but just when I was molding and shaping myself as an artist, I studied classical voice and I auditioned to be a part of the San Francisco Opera chorus. I was studying classical voice and I loved the opera. And I thought if I could just be a part of the opera chorus, when you go see La Boheme or Carmen, the townspeople that sing, no major role, but I just thought that would be a great thing to be a part of. So I at one time wanted to be just a part of the opera chorus in the San Francisco Opera.
That's cool.
I didn't make it in though. I didn't pass that up.
I don't know if there's much they don't know about me. I'm pretty communicative online because I am also a life coach. And so I use a lot of my life experience to speak to different areas of who I am and what I am trying to convey. So I'm not so sure. It's almost probably something you could ask Terry or Cindy about me, that maybe they would know something that I'm not saying, but I don't know if there's anything that would be surprising about, that they would learn. I'm not sure. Maybe that I'm a blue collar girl a little bit at heart. I like to bowl and roller skate. I'm old school with it.
Terry.
I'm a crafter. I love crafting, arts and crafts, but I think people know that now. But I love making things. I just love making things.
What's the most recent thing you made? You might have had some time during the pandemic, huh?
Well, I've always journaled. Ever since I was a kid, I've always journaled. But I got more gratification the journal that I was going to journal in. And so I've always had a thing for paper, a real love of paper. And so I've always created things with paper and pens and ribbons and lace and anything textural and tactile. But the latest thing I've made, I would say, would probably be a gratitude journal, because I write in my gratitude journal every day, ceaselessly.
All right, for years we've been hearing about the death of R&B, which is absolutely ridiculous. But what are your thoughts when you hear people say that R&B is no longer relevant, and especially when you look at a 30-year career in this music that's still going strong?
Maybe not to mainstream radio. I mean, you know, pop stations, but I mean, gosh, R&B seems like it's actually thriving right now to me, especially if you look just beneath the surface of what people may deem to be popular.
I don't think that, yeah, R&B still has a place. You know, it thrives. It may not thrive on mainstream radio all the time, but it thrives. And I think it's very relevant still. You know, that's the foundation right there. Really, that's the real stuff. That's the stuff that other artists want to borrow from and steal from and imitate and, you know, emulate. So it definitely has a place, and it's still appreciated.
R&B music will never die. It's the underground of our culture. So R&B music ain't going nowhere. I mean, you may have outlets who may limit the spins, but it's not going anywhere.
How important are events like Black Music Honors when it comes to keeping R&B out on Front Street?
Yeah, I think it's very important because it fully puts on display the talent and the appreciation of Black music, where you know, certain other award shows don't highlight it as much as it could be or should be, or recognize it as, you know, to the fullest degree of its greatness. And so so it's very important, and it's just very important for us to have the platform to come together and recognize it for what it really is and the greatness that it really is.
And I'd like to add, to piggyback on what Cindy just said, she's right. We as a people, we have to continue to develop outlets for ourselves, so that we can continue to honor and love and respect ourselves and our culture. It's really important, because we see, you know, how things have always been and how they continue to be. There are many other outlets who, you know, they don't honor the Black culture. They borrow from it, but they don't honor it. They don't respect it.
All right, when you look back on your careers, I mean, just the breadth of the work is pretty incredible, and it's clear that you love what you do. When did your love affair with music start? And I would love for each of you to talk a little bit about that. When did you know that this was the thing you wanted to do with your life, that it really spoke to your spirits? I'll start with you, Rona.
Wow, I got bitten by the entertainment bug at a very young age. I used to go down to Alabama. My family roots are in Alabama, and my maternal grandmother used to take care of foster children. And my sister and I used to travel down there in the summertime and hang out with my cousins and the foster kids. And for whatever reason, I took to putting together talent shows. with them. And my grandmother was the one that kind of told my parents, hey, you might want to pay attention to Rona, because prior to that, I would be in my parents' basement in Chicago, singing to the walls, talking to my imaginary kids. I had this wild imagination. And they always thought I probably was a little special, but actually something budding there that was trying to be expressed. And so that probably happened around 7 or 8 years old for me. And I got involved with the, church choir. That's a part of my foundation, church music, and then just kind of expanded from there.
Cindy?
For me, I just grew up singing. I was in a singing household. My dad sang, my sister sang, my grandfather on my mom's side was a musician and a singer. And so it was just always natural with me. But I think when I realized that that's what I want to do, it was when the Jackson 5 came out. And I saw that you didn't have to be grown up to be on the radio. You didn't have to be grown up to be on TV. And then I just loved the Jacksons' music, and that's when I knew that's what I wanted to do as well.
Gary?
I started singing, that I can remember anyway, about the age of 12. There was music always in our household, and my sister sang a lot. And so I guess I was just really trying to emulate her. But I just loved singing. I didn't know that I wanted to be a singer or to have the desire to be in the industry until my late teens. But I had been singing all along. I was in every band, every choir, just anything you could think of. I was in it and I was singing. But it wasn't until I saw Whitney Houston receiving an award. I think it was a Soul Train Award. And I remember I was on the couch, and in that moment, I remember saying to myself, I'm going to get one of those one day. And that was that. And I never thought about it again. I just sang. I just wanted to sing. And so I was perfectly fine singing before I got a record deal. It didn't matter to me whether I got in a record deal or not. I just enjoyed singing. And maybe because it didn't matter to me, that's how I ended up getting one. And then it became my career.
Your 30th anniversary in the business, the year that this has been one of the most insane years of most of our lives. I'd love to hear from each of you how you've been able to maintain your mental health during this pandemic, and what advice would you give other creative people and artists who may be feeling isolated and uninspired and really just kind of unsure about the future? To go first.
Well, I think, we've probably been maintaining because we took our own advice a while ago. At the beginning of the pandemic, we launched an initiative called Hold On Together. And we wanted to release that because we understood early on the importance of togetherness and family and staying connected. I'm from Houston, Texas. I go home all the time. Rona's from Chicago. She goes home all the time. Cindy lives in Los Angeles, but she's from San Francisco. She has family in the Bay Area. And we have not been able to travel and be with our families. And so we understand the importance of, what's the psychology of what this could be, how heavy this could be on everyone right now. And so it's really important to stay connected, be with your loved ones, just on the phone, virtual Zoom. Me and my sisters, we do Zoom calls. You know, let your loved ones know you're there and that you love them. Just stay as connected as much as possible. It's really, really important because, you know, we're looking at the news every day. This thing is not getting any better. We're hearing about people dying just from depression. And we get it. We get it. We understand it. And it's really important to take this time to just let your loved ones know that you are there for them, your family and your friends.
And it's also important, I think, I've learned to stay in some sort of a routine for yourself. Yes. You know, the gyms are closed. So we all have had to reconfigure our workouts and figure out what we can do at home. So take care of yourself, eat healthy if you're able to. In addition to staying in touch with people online, stay, if you are able to learn something, keep your mind open, learn a language, learn a musical instrument, but just keep your mind active, and stay connected to whatever's happening that influences you or you're interested in online. There's online dance classes, online exercises classes. We did one with the Obey workout with Walter Kemp, and that was a lot of fun. So, and for me, it's been important to just, I'm here, I've got 4 kids and a husband, and so there's always lots going on here just in my household, and that's helped keep me sane. In Vogue, doing our podcast, the Funky Divas podcast, that's been a good way for me to stay active and connected to our fans and connected to Terry and Rona.
I think they just did a beautiful job of spelling it out. That we are human, we are built on connection, to make sure that we see each other, to make sure that we express that to and with one another. If you feel up to it, get out in nature. That's been huge for me. I reestablished my relationship with nature. So I would go out to the park and breathe deep. I would go to the ocean, living in California, and just sit there and meditate. And I also got online and spoke to the fans a lot, about mental health and about how to stay grounded, and some of the things that we can do, and creating a space for us to still feel good. Music, definitely being a part of that, listening to what you love, lifting your vibration with what keeps us all connected.
You mentioned your Funky Divas podcast. Tell us about creating that and what you've enjoyed most about being able to do that.
Oh my gosh, creating the Funky Divas podcast has been so exciting and fun and enlightening for us as well, because, well, first of all, we get to interview people that we love, people that we've been connected to since day one. And we get to hear their stories and their perspective about their role in helping to build our career. And it's been really, really cool, because we've been hearing stories that we were like, oh, what? We didn't know, really, that happened? Oh my God, what? So it's been a lot of fun.
With these podcasts, you get a chance to see another side of people. And for you guys, you're always so smooth and so slick on stage and doing your show and stuff. So you get a chance to be goofy and silly when you do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's funny that you said we're so smooth, because that's what I think we are, is goofy.
Goofy and silly,
times.
That's us.
Well, who do you feel?
That's us the majority of the time. Don't take us that serious.
It's your front. Your front is working. Let me just say. So who do you feel needs to be honored and given their flowers that hasn't received them as of yet? This is such a great opportunity to be able to let people know how you feel about them instead of waiting until they're gone. This is what I love about award shows like this. Is it anybody that you feel has been kind of overlooked that should be honored at something like this?
Yes, and I'm gonna say it for all of us, and his name is El DeBarge.
We love El.
We love El DeBarge. I mean, not to mention he has such a legacy of music and songs. His incredible writing ability, and his voice is just absolutely angelic, and just the music that he's created throughout his career has stood the test of time. So much so that before every show, when we get ready to perform, we put on El DeBarge. I mean, he's like our pre-show game. We listen to his, and specifically his album, Second Chance. We cannot stop listening to that album. And so, you know, we definitely feel like he deserves his flowers now.
Yes.
Everybody says amen to that. And the chat is going crazy right now over that question.
As we would.
Recently, Kamala Harris became the first ever female Black vice president, a huge win for people of color. And being that we're honoring Black music, why do you feel it's important for people like yourselves to use your platform in making our Black voices heard? You can also tell us any thoughts you're having about Kamala and what that means to you as a Black woman.
When I think about what, you know, they say change starts with the man in the mirror, right? And when I think about having the opportunity to be able to create and to have some success in this business, and have such a huge platform and the opportunities that we've had, I can't imagine, given the struggles that we Black people, our culture, we've endured for over 400 years, I can't imagine using this platform for anything less than uplifting and celebrating and elevating our culture. And that's what Kamala represents to me. She represents the stride and the struggle and the accomplishment, the achievement. But we still have a lot of work to do. And but I think she's the beginning, and it's important that we continue. And so that's why it's important to us to continue to use our platform for that. And thank God we had producers, 2 Black men who have very high standards for women, Black women. And they encouraged us and inspired us to use our voice, to stand in our power, and in representing our culture.
What do you guys think about these versus battles? Would you be willing to participate in one of those? And if so, what R&B group would you champ?
You know, those versus battles, they're a lot of fun. They look like they're a lot of fun. And someone suggested to us, and when they did, I thought, oh, that's a good idea. You know, what if Vogue did a versus battle with Boys to Men? Ooh. You know, that would be a really good balance to me. The male, female, you know, energy, and they have some amazing hits, and we love them. We have often been on the road, and you know, with Boys to Men, we love them. So I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
I think that'd be a lot of fun for us too. We would like doing that. We've got just a little bit of time now. There have been some phenomenal biopics released these past few years. If there was one done on En Vogue, who would you guys want to portray you?
I can't think of any like younger version of me. But the older version of me, I would choose my bestie, Holly Robinson Peete.
Yeah. I see that. Cindy?
I could see, there's probably several actresses, maybe Zoe Saldana. I've been told on a few occasions that that there's a resemblance. Obviously, she's much younger, but and so I think she could play me.
I've heard that the young lady, Dawn Richard, I think is the way they pronounce her last name. She was in Danity Kane. She's a solo artist now. Could possibly be great for playing.
All right. Well, we are coming down to the end here, and just we're getting a lot of different questions in the chat. But I did want to just ask you about "Free Your Mind." Someone has mentioned that it became a powerful song for social thinking. Was that the thought behind it initially, and how do you feel about that now?
Initially, we were writing about our life experiences, just putting it into music, because that's what we did. And we honestly, we were really happy that it was well received. I mean, we know we were pushing the envelope way back then when we decided to veer into, make it rock and edgy. And we would have never guessed that this many years later, the things we were writing about still would be relevant, that we wouldn't have evolved out of those habits and patterns of thinking, of being prejudiced and in so many ways. And so it's a bit surprising that the message is still so relevant. But we are happy that it still contains a message for today. And then we were happy that we were able to perform it, for the Billboard Awards and close the show at such an important time, when people were getting ready to vote.
It kind of exemplifies your career too, that, just the freedom to pursue your music in the way that you have and to be really true to your authentic selves. You've done a good job of that. What is some of the best advice anybody ever gave you? And what is some advice you wish someone had given you?
I would say years ago, a friend of mine, before I was still a teenager, but I was singing in his band. And I remember him telling me, never, ever, ever be afraid to make mistakes. He said, because you have to view it from the perspective of you're reaching. And when you reach, you're bound to, make some mistakes here and there, but they're not really mistakes if you learn from them. So I've always viewed mistakes as learning curves because of that. And it's helped me to not be afraid to reach. And I've had many moments like that. And it's got that philosophy has gotten me through. And the other one was to always listen to my intuition. Always listen to it. I got that from my mother, and she was right. And to never second guess it, because it's always right.
I think it's probably some of the best advice, and there was a lot of advice over the years, but one piece of advice very early on to me and to all of us was to know the business part of your business, that, it's show business, but the business part really is at least 50% or if not more of what you do. And so it's important to know your business and to look at your contracts and to ask questions to your attorney and just know about as much about it as you can, so that you can think for yourself and not just put people in place to handle all that for you who really could do you harm.
Somebody is asking something I have to ask you before we leave. What is it that they're never going to get?
You don't respect, you don't get.
Never, ever, y'all, never, ever gonna get it, never.
No, the message was, as a woman, and this goes for everyone, if you don't respect me, then you don't get respect.
Amen.
You get
Well,
if.
Amen. Well, I tell you what, we certainly have gotten your loving for 30 years, and I hope that you have received all the love that's out here for you. Want to thank you all for your time, your patience, for this wonderful career that has blessed all of us in this business. And I also want to thank all of the media outlets who are on this call today. We realize that this is a really different situation that we're dealing with in this virtual space. We appreciate all of you not just being here today, but the great work that you've done to get the word out about Black music for all of these years. And as we move forward into a brilliant future where we'll be doing more things like this. But we appreciate your patience. I wish that we could have gotten to every question. Some of them were so fantastic, but there were so many because people love you guys. They had a lot to say. And I know that they would, if they could speak for themselves right now, they would probably give you an awful lot of love. So on behalf of everyone here today, let's do that. And I hope that you will all join us November 21st, 12 noon Eastern, only on Bounce TV for Black Music Honors. It will be a national syndication after that up until December 13th. So there will be opportunities for you to get a chance to see and hear an incredible show that day. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
everyone. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you all.
Yo, this is their 5th annual Black Music Honors. It premieres on Bounce TV Network. It is a 2-hour special. It's a virtual special too, because you know we're doing the whole COVID-19 thing, so people are not getting close to each other. It aired on November 21st, which was Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and broadcast syndication later this fall. Due to the COVID-19 global crisis, the Black Music Honors is being produced as a special with celebrating Black excellence in music. Now, they'll be discussing different topics, such as scheduled honorees and performers, which is En Vogue, Deborah Cox, Fred Hammond, the National Museum of African American Music, Major, Tweet, June's Diary, Marvin Sapp, D Smoke, Brian Courtney Wilson, and Evie McKinney, RL, and many, many, many more guests. You can visit blackmusichonors.com. That's BLACK music, MUSIC, honors, HONORS.com, all one word. Please, if you can, if you get a chance to follow them on all social media, Facebook, and they're at Black Music Honors, Twitter, Instagram. It's all at Black Music Honors. Hashtag Black Music Honors too as well. So what you're about to get into, we're about to see a super cool interview that we were able to cover by being a part of the press with En Vogue. You know, you remember them back in the day if you were old enough, you know. I ain't gonna sing the lyrics because, you know, whatever. I can't sing. But definitely check them out and check out this interview and set some time to aside if you're sitting at home and you're quarantining or you're really affected by the global pandemic and you're looking for something to look at. Please check out this interview with En Vogue on Black Music Honors.
And holla at your boy. First, we're at the main settings, right? You're just gonna go up to add channels. You're just going to go down to search channels. Once you go to search channels, you're going to go ahead and type in my, give yourself that little space. And as soon as you start hitting in CE, it's going to go ahead and pop it right over there. My Celebrity Life. Look at that. And look at your boy. Yeah. GeHolla, My Celebrity Life. You guys go ahead and select that and go ahead and represent for your boy. Right? All right. So once you actually make it right here,